that being said, we're about to move into a session with Mr. Kurt Elster, who's going to give unsolicited advice on tearing down your website based on his experience, having no idea what works in your business. And some of these things will be like potentially quick wins or things you don't have to test or small design changes, but they're not going to be those major conversion rate optimization shifts that you study and prove that Nick put forth as his thesis of his presentation. So Nick, thanks so much. I'm going to bring Kurt in here. And I know these two, how long have you known Kurt?
I've known Kurt since I was 12.
Okay. So these two go back a long ways. Awesome. Yeah. And I've got everybody, definitely check out Draft. I recommend subscribing to the blog, by the way. Definitely. If not buy the book outright, definitely.
So most of my advice is just me parroting things I learned from Nick or read in one of Nick's books or got from the Baymard Institute newsletter. That's it. Like I am just a complete fraud. Like from Walmart once he goes, I've never come up with a good idea in my life. I just recognize other people's good ideas and use those. That's all I'm doing.
You're not a fraud. You stand on the shoulders of giants. That's the nice way of putting it. You have to sell yourself better, Kurt.
Yeah. I was just trying to help you out. I know it's been tough times.
Oh gosh. All right, cool. And so if you'd like to submit your website, we got a few submissions here already. If you'd like to submit your website for a teardown, we're going to get into it with Kurt. Nick, thanks so much.
Not a problem. Thank you so much.
See you, Nick.
All right.
Yep.
Kurt, how's it going? And Kurt, you want to give a quick plug about you and your podcast and your agency and everything you're up to?
I'm having some problems here because my hands are sore from counting up all the cash that I've been making. It's just ridiculous. No, I'm kidding. I'm best known for hosting the Unofficial Shopify podcast. I've done that for 5 years. Once a week, we talk about what's going on with Shopify, and usually it goes wildly off the rails. So it was a good time. And on that show now, we consistently do a lot of website teardowns where we're taking a subjective outsider look at a website's purchase flow. And because I've touched at this point thousands of Shopify stores and have seen the analytics for thousands and optimized thousands, I have a reasonable idea of like, okay, here are issues that should be resolved, and here are potential best practices to resolve those. So based on that, all right, we can get the website in a better place where once you've got the obvious stuff out of the way, then, okay, that's when you've run out of obvious things to do, that's when you got to start coming up with some theories and throwing stuff against the wall. That's where now you move into conversion rate optimization with Nick, who I'm sure loves that I just characterized his work as, quote, throwing stuff against the wall.
Yeah. And I mean, he said it himself, he only succeeds about 1 out of 8 tests. And I think that's where most people get it wrong, is that you're so certain that it's going to work, it's going to change, it's going to be a big deal, but it's not guaranteed. And what the consumer wants, what the customer wants is often very different from what you think is going to work.
Yes. Yeah. And you have to let go of your ego, and that's hard and it hurts for everybody, including me, when I'm like, wow, we spent all this time on this really beautiful mega menu. It's so cool. And then it's like, oh, the old crappy one actually converts better. Like,
yeah. Yeah. Sometimes ugly is a better conversion, and people are like, oh, I want the slider to move between the elements, or the video should autoplay so that people can see the product. And then it goes, oh, well, the video audio playing distracts them from purchasing. And now you're
of
losing.
The 3 highest revenue sites we ever worked on were both ugly as sin. Like, one was ugly to the point where I was like, is this broken? It is so ugly. And yet that was the most revenue generating store I'd ever seen, I've ever like personally worked on. And I think people keep bringing this up. Someone must be talking about this who's more famous than me. But I don't think it's that ugly necessarily converts better. I think it's that what we think of as ugly sites are often like very functional, very usable sites. And they tend to have a focus on the written word, on typography, on not hiding all the content behind accordion menus and tabs and like cute sayings. Everything's clear and concise. And if I want, I can get details. And there's a lot of advantage in having that focus on readability and copy, because the web is 90% typography. Honestly, if you want a better converting site, make sure all your text is black on white and has and is at least 16 points so everybody can read it. Like that, really, truly, that is one of the easiest layout and design CRO hacks you can use, is make stuff easier to read. Who would have thought? But in design, there's this idea that subtle is sophisticated. And well, the problem is like subtle is not great when you're just trying to read it on your phone.
Yeah.
All right, so we can do some teardowns or what?
Yeah, let's do it. And yeah, I was just thinking about two of the most like visited sites that are the simplest: Craigslist and Wikipedia. Almost all text, right? And and people love them and they use them and they convey the information they're supposed to without. So many companies, by the way, I've seen it back in my San Diego days. People would be like, "Oh, we're creating the Craigslist, but better." All of these companies are in the graveyard now. No one could get it done because it turned out Craigslist was better, and no one thought that could be the case. But it was like, this is just better.
Well, and even something like accessibility, like suddenly a site that is in almost entirely text like that, it works on every device. It loads incredibly quickly. I bet it gets 100 points on Google page speed, 100%. And it'll work, like it will be very accessible. It's going to work for screen readers. I mean, there's a lot of advantage in an undesigned site like Craigslist. A lot of like genuine competitive advantage in it, as counterintuitive as that may be. And I also enjoy, like, there's the advantage of standing out. You know, zig when everybody zags. When everyone's doing these like ridiculous, subtle, minimalist, very expensive sites, and then you show up with this like an undesigned or anti-designed site, you know, like Craigslist. Well, there's a reason that works well.
Yeah, I agree completely. All right, we've got a few submissions, and one more that just came in here is Lasso Apparel, or so you can add that to the mix. But I think you've got Quick Camo, Sicko clothing, and if you're feeling risque, Curcado underwear.
All right, I have not looked at any of these, so this is all going to be like my first initial impression. And I'll just do them in the order you sent them to me until I run out of time.
Sure.
I'm going to go with Sicko Clothing.
And I think are you here in chat, the person that submitted this? I think they were here just a few minutes ago, so they probably are still around. And you should be able to share your screen. Here it comes.
Okay.
Nice.
Boom. I've landed on the site, and there is a lot of stuff that they're doing right that I like. And a few things that they aren't necessarily doing that I think would just be easy wins. So landing on the site, there's a big advantage here that, like, when you land on the site, it goes Sicko, hip-hop inspired, and then a single lifestyle image. Like, notice this is not a carousel, so we don't have to deal with, like, the slides whipping through. I'm not big on those. I really think the big advantage of a carousel is settling debates internally in an organization as opposed to communicating something. So here, like, this is perfect. This image by itself tells you everything you need to know about what's going on with this brand. You either look at this and go, I love it, or you look at it and go, not for me. One of the two. So having an image like this, where an image is worth 1,000 words kind of thing. Like, this really just immediately screams what the brand is to people. So having kind of like an aspirational lifestyle or action image like that is pretty great, especially for lifestyle apparel.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm not in love with is this menu, because there's a lot going on here. So, like, generally in a menu, think about your short-term memory. A phone number is 7 digits long. Why? Because that's about as much as most people can hold in their head at one time. And so having, like, I try to keep all my menus to about 5 items. It's just much easier for people to navigate at a glance. And what they've done that I like is they've broken everything out here. But there's a little too much. Like home, I would just get rid of. Everybody knows they can click the logo or click back to go home. Shop all, that may be too much. That may be intimidating for people. So I'd probably get rid of that one. But you could also use Google Analytics to figure out what pages have high bounce rates. We got men, women, kids. That makes sense. Great. We're going to break it up by audience. That's what's smart about this. Hip-hop inspired hats. We're going to break it up by type. New arrivals. I love it. And then lookbook and about us. I wish I could, like, home and shop all I want to get rid of. All right. That really strips this menu down a little bit. And then about us, maybe it should be in the footer unless, like, it's really great. But overall, I love that, like, there's no mega menu. There's no drop-down menu. I can just see it at a glance. It's clean. It is simple to straightforward. It's not using fancy fonts. It is just legible and clear to read. I'm so glad that this was the first one we went with that illustrates that. And then, just a single good image as opposed to like, I got 5 images in carousel and maybe one will be interesting. I wish I had a little more context to some of these images, right? Like, bestsellers, trending now, lookbook. Because like these I can't actually click on. So these are more like a gallery, a lookbook. Like if I look at this and go, I want that. Oh, okay, this one actually links to. So some have links and some don't. I would just make sure for all of them, because I'm going to look at it and go, all right, I want that. Like, sweet, great. So just ideally let me click and go straight to that product if you're going to show it to me. For my own sanity, I have all social media blocked on my computer. So these are YouTube videos, and I apologize that those don't work. I promise these work. This is entirely me. We're rocking testimonials. Fantastic. We got social proof. It had the right idea, and they're using images, which is great. And it just gets a little weird in terms that there's quite a few here. I'd probably limit this, like, let's do 5 of the most striking images. And instead of testimonials, like, I would just rephrase it as like, something that would apply to like customer action shots, or I try to think of like a good, concise but sexy way to say customer action shot. There's got to be a good phrase for that. User generated content just doesn't really sell well. And then the footer, like everybody kind of forgets to do the footer, or the footer gets a little messy. This would like if you want a good footer layout, put the logo on the left, do 3 columns of link lists, just go like catalog, customer care, about us. So one's your catalog, one is things to help the customer, like contact, etc. And then one is about you, the company. All right, so there's our 3 link lists. And then ideally like a newsletter sign up and your social icons. That can go in the footer. That gives us a little bit of a safety net by having that footer, that newsletter down there. And the site is like really white and pretty and minimal and straightforward. And so I would kill the payment method icons. At this point, like 30 years ago, that made sense. It's 2020. Everybody knows how online shopping works. I would probably get rid of them. But that's also a thing you could split test, see if it makes a difference or not. Probably won't, but if you want to play it safe, and we just heard from the split testing guy, so maybe. Yeah.
Now on that menu, you said that you liked that it wasn't like a mega menu, but I was thinking
I think this could work really well as a mega menu, but I'd rather have someone like just have a straightforward, like sensible main menu than ham fist a mega menu, for lack of a better word.
Okay. And let them just click based on men, or because I mean, if you're shopping for yourself as a man, you just click men, and then you're going to see the subcategories and start to get a better feel for the products, right?
Yeah. So like a lot of times with menus, you want to think about how customers shop. And what's nice about apparel is like you can think about how a store works or how you shop. And so I think the right way to do it is break it up by audience. So men, women, kids makes sense. Break it up by type. Be like, and that's often what you could do under these sections. Be like men, and then I open it. It's like shirts, shorts, hats. So I built this menu for Hoonigan. And again, this is that YouTube problem. That's me, not them. If you hover over shop, it does that, where it's like, all right, men's, and then clothing, tees, and we really break it out. Women's, and we break it out by category, by audience. We just try and give them every which way to do it. However, oh my gosh, they sell so much. These menus quickly got out of hand on me. As I earlier was like, limit it to 5 lists. And then I'm like, look what I designed in this gigantic list.
And you've got that image there that does showcase a lot of the merch and product there. It's kind of a blend of everything. So it's not just one product shot. It's kind of showing here's the selection.
I love here's another menu I designed and developed. What's nice about this one, like this does a better job where we've got link lists, an image to try and give context, and like here Venus Williams is the chief brand officer, so why would I not use that? And then a clever thing you could do in some mega menus is just put a big call to action in it, right? Like, I don't know what to pick with all these options. Okay, then just give them the easy way out with a big button. And a theme like Out of the Sandbox Flex has that feature built into it. Otherwise, it could be a customization. Or like here, if you just want a really straightforward, simple mega menu, something like this. This is just Turbo Out of the Sandbox. let me just see what a collection and product page looks like, and then we'll jump forward. All right, we got our products here. So we've got sort, and explore is just is the menu again. I would probably like sort. The only thing, there's an advantage to trying to stick to typical with a site. Try and do everything like the way major players do it. And the sort option is often in the upper right. So a minor optimization, but I think that's kind of stick to convention. One thing that would be worthwhile to split test, or to heat map and see if people use it, are add to cart buttons on the collection page. For a brand with really inexpensive items like a hardware store, this makes a lot of sense. For other brands, it doesn't necessarily, right? So here, let me pick this t-shirt.
Yeah, especially if we have size and color options.
This product page is straightforward and excellent, and I like these designs where we get all the images full size up front, and then we get to the size guide. This is the only thing that with apparel you need to be careful about, is make sure the size guide info is up there, and make sure return and exchange info is up there. And then certainly like these social icons, I would heat map that. I bet out of 2,000 users, this gets used 0 or once. They've got some social proof or a little scarcity right here. Social proof and scarcity. Limited stock. 2 people are viewing. Like, oh no, I gotta buy it before they do. There's advantage to stuff like that. But I wish next to size, it said size guide, and then it could open up the size guide so I know what the heck I'm looking at. And like under add to cart, if it said like easy returns and exchanges. And with apparel, because I can't try it on, that's super important. That's such an easy win. When I add it to cart, it takes me to the cart page. I love it. And it's got this calculator, free shipping calculator. Also all brilliant. The only thing I wish we could do a little differently is clean up this cart form. Things have gotten a little weird here. So like special instructions I would get rid of unless there's a really compelling reason for it, in which case like rename it to that reason. Like maybe it's a gift message. Okay, call it gift message instead of special instructions. Discount code. Well, this is unusual. Okay. And then like this guy would be cool if it were just across the top of the page, this countdown timer. And like, I don't like that update cart and checkout have the same level of importance here. I wish checkout was proceed to checkout and used a primary call to action color, and update cart could just be like a white background. And then these payment buttons I would ditch. And then once we hit the checkout, did they style it? Come on. See what we got here. Most people don't. Oh, yes, they styled it. And they used a banner image and the logo. This looks really good. They did an excellent job styling this checkout page. And look at that. Phone, receive text from our team. They will do, it looks like they're signing you up for SMS. Cool.
Perfect.
All right. Let's do another one. Quick camo.
By the way, Irina is asking if you can do this on mobile. We actually did do that.
We did it before. Yeah, I'll do it right now.
On another one. I'll link it here in chat. For now, maybe we could shrink it down on the screen size, but he actually plugged in his phone, and so you were able to see his phone there. But for now, we'll continue on desktop, but I'll link that former video you might find very interesting.
What? No, I'm doing it. I'm going for it, man. I got called out for not doing it on mobile. So all right, we're doing it on mobile.
We're in apparel, and I imagine 60 to 70% of purchasers are coming from mobile. So.
Oh, absolutely.
It does
let's
make
see.
sense.
I need to find what the heck app I used.
The Bluetooth connection.
There's like a mirror app I used. Oh, geez, I have no idea what it's called. All right, never mind.
Yeah, we'll get there.
There's an app that lets me stream my phone to my desktop, and it's really cool. And I 100% completely forgot the name of it. Otherwise, I would do this on mobile. All right, next time. Sorry. Okay, so landing on the site, it's got a mobile menu. Yeah, I just worked on a different site where they had a mobile menu, always a hamburger menu. Sometimes these are called. And I look at that animation. Isn't that cool? Use animation sparingly because they can get weird. But this looks good. However, certainly a thing I'd want to try is, well, on desktop, what if we didn't have all our important links hidden behind a hamburger menu, right? Like, what's the advantage there? So I like spread that stuff out. Let's see. Okay. And then like after, like the animations are cool, but categories is misspelled, by the way. Yeah. The animations are cool, but they start to get tiresome. I'm like very anti-animation at this point. And just because I've seen them break stuff so often, it's not entirely unusual that animations, like 1 out of 100 times, get weird. So like clear. This looks like it's set up for mobile. Look at the size of this thing. What is going on with this headline? Like it looks like a mobile width was set on this. That's a little odd. I wish this were wider or smaller. That's where responsive fonts, you can make fonts responsive where the size gets bigger or smaller depending on screen width. Could be useful. But there's like a narrow width set on this that got a little weird. And the disadvantage is like it's hard to read and it gets a little strange as we get down here. Actually, here, one of my favorite tools is if you want to figure out like what's the right what's the right font sizes, like this headline in relation to this body text, and what should the width be? Well, actually, there's a tool, grtcalculator.com. If you want to get it really specific, you plug in a font, you tell it your font size, and then it will tell you what content width would be appropriate. So I can actually look at this and go, oh, okay, it's size 48. So what size width should that be? 48. Show me. And ideally, it should be 1600 wide. So like nearly this full width of the screen to fit that font. Then once I get down here, actually, this looks pretty good. But again, I would love to see a heat map to see if these quick shot buttons get used. But I like what I hate in collections when they have like really tiny images. I like that they've used lifestyle photos here, and I like that it's 2-column wide, so I get these really big, beautiful images. Just wish it was higher up the page.
Really quick, what's that tool website?
grtcalculator.com.
Got it.
On Quick Camo. Okay, this looks cool. This breadcrumb got a little weird because of the super long collection title. And you could probably turn the vendor display off since you are the manufacturer, you are the vendor. It becomes redundant. I would turn that off. But then, oh, this looks good. And we've got, well, there's a stray bullet point here. But look, they've got some badges that show at a glance benefits. And they've got this kind of graphic design language that works, and then we've got some objection busters right here as badges. I think all that stuff is great. I bet some of the stuff up here, like it matches their product packaging, and probably maybe some of this is pulled from the packaging, really ties the brand together. Now, however, this could be done better. Like this is just a single image that's barely legible on desktop. It's probably a little weird on mobile. Same with like this thing is a single image, so not good for SEO, not good for legibility, not good for accessibility. Ideally, these would be like individual graphics with actual text as text instead of an image. If you're putting text in an image, you're probably a bad boy. Don't do that. But I like where their head's at. I think this is a good look. When you get these really long bullet point descriptions, try to limit yourself here, but also bold key phrases. And you'll see Amazon sellers do this all the time. I bet this stuff is on Amazon, where they've got like scent control fabric, that should be bold. Then this should be bold. Just because that idea that people don't read. Well, it's that they kind of skim until they find what they're looking for. So breaking stuff into bullet points is smart. Getting shorter line lengths is smart. Bolding key phrases is smart. Using headings, that can all help. But I like that they've got a long description here. And as always, oh my gosh, just run a heat map on this. I bet nobody uses it. Oh, look, we got some social proof in here, some testimonials, some cross sells. I'm not even into hunting, and I think this is cool. Like, look, I could be like Swamp Thing here with this stuff. The reviews I'd probably put higher, and then it makes me press this button over and over to see the reviews. Look how much more dramatic it is when you have this many reviews, and I could just load them all up like that.
Wow.
And then I scroll into it, takes up my whole page. Why not do that by default? And the fact that I have to like click show more to keep showing it, it probably already loaded them all in the background anyway. It's not like I'm saving load time on this. This is, 63 reviews. That's cool. Like, just impress me with it. Because look at that. Mr. T bought in 2018. Mr. T. So
I do wish there were photos in some of those reviews, or if there's a way to turn on photo reviews, because that's going to be huge for a product
Yes.
that's so visual.
No, absolutely. And I don't know what review app they're using, but I'd imagine at this point, like most of them support user-generated content in the forms of photos. Some of them even do video now, and that's really helpful because I could see like, all right, what's it? I see it looks great here in the professional version. Well, what's it look like when I get it home, right? What's it look like when the random person puts it on? And so there's a big advantage to having photos. And probably this app already supports it. They just need to click the checkbox. When I add this guy to cart, what happens? Ooh, look at that. We've got cross-sell, upsell. Congratulations. Offer ends in. When does the offer end? It is not clear. I'm guessing there's supposed to be a countdown timer here. Yes, I want. I just say add to cart. Like we've trained them. Let's do consistent language. And rather than do like multiple items, I would either like offer me only one item or use a frequently bought together bundle and put that in here because that'll really, really drive people home. Here, I'll show you a quick one.
I'm going to get the link for bold bundles. That's my favorite bundling tool for that.
Yeah, bold bundles is great. And bold bundles works with bold brain and will automatically generate. It'll tell you like these things are bought together, so you should make these bundles. But here you could see like, all right, here's the product of the product form. I built this page. And scroll down. Wow, boom, frequently bought together widget. I think that would be a better approach for something like this than doing the cross-sell, like in a pop-up. Just go under here, and then I could see like, oh, all this stuff works together. The only thing that's weird, though, is check this out. When I click add to cart, it never actually added it. Or here it says cart 3, but then look at this.
That's not good. This could be...
and then I hit refresh. It's all there.
Okay, so it was there, but it didn't dynamically update like it's supposed to.
So like a better flow would be get rid of that stupid upsell app, use a bundle widget, and then on add to cart, just take me straight to this cart. This cart's pretty. I would turn off the shipping calculator, or turn off the note, just make this really clean and straightforward. Cart, we got this giant headline. I'd rename it your shopping cart or your quick camo cart. I give them some ownership of it. Checkout. Oh, look, they got the lock icon on there. I love when it's got the lock icon on there. And up here, it says free US shipping on all orders. Okay, put that in the product form or put that in this white space over here. Free shipping on all US orders, or it doesn't even have to be on all orders. Just say you qualify for free shipping. Cool. Let's check out with all my mossy oak. I can't believe someone just made better camo and then trademarked it and licensed it to everybody. Mossy oak is brilliant in that. As a camo connoisseur. And then once I'm in the checkout, they added their logo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 2 quick things. You could change the color, these link colors and this button color to match your site. And payment, you could rename that secure payment by going in themes, edit languages. That's so minor. I'm being so pedantic, but every little thing helps. Yeah. And then I often rewrite this newsletter opt-in. And the one I have found I think is the best is Walmart.com's language. Run through their guest checkout, and their marketing opt-in checkout I think is really well written. I need to write it down. I have gone through their checkout to not purchase just to see that at least a dozen times, because then I go copy and paste it into a different site.
All right, I'm going right now.
Let's see. Okay, that's quick camo. What else do I got? Give me one more.
Lasso Apparel.
Lasso Apparel. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at this pop-up. We've noticed that you've abandoned your cart. Could you tell us the reason, please?
That's interesting. It doesn't have the option. I was just giving your site a website.
Yeah. Okay, so I love this. We actually do exit intent pop-ups where we'll ask people, if you didn't make a purchase today, why not? And it's to uncover objections so that we can engage in tests like Nick D suggested. Here, I bet this is gonna try and bust my objection. So I'm gonna say, I found a better deal. Look at that. We'll try to work on that. We can offer a discount for your shopping. Would you like that? Yes, I would. What's your they're getting me on their email address. Oh my gosh. Derek at eCommerce.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. Great. Here's your code, CART20. I have never seen this before. I 100% think this is brilliant. And it says powered by Tideo. They're using Tideo chat to do this. I didn't know Tideo could do that. But this is really clever because they've now put me on their they've put Derek on their newsletter. They have engaged me. I'm impressed. I could see they've got accessible customer service, and they gave me a code. And for better or worse, they did not tell me what the amount is. So, but that might be smart because that could force me like, oh, well, now I got to go see what it is. And so if I put it in here, cart 20, apply. Look at that. It worked. That's so cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's 20% off. Wow. All right, cool. I'm glad. I wonder if they knew like the value of my cart and that triggers it. Like if I only had one for $20, if it would have worked. I don't know. I think that we just uncovered something that's very neat.
I found that language, by the way, from Walmart. Email me about hot items, great savings, and more.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one I like. I take that and then I'll tweak it. It's lassoapparel.com is the next one, right?
Yep. You forgot. Oh, you got it.
Boom. There we go. So notice in here, like they set their fave icon and it matches. I often see people forget the fave icon. It's a minor thing, but if you don't put in a fave icon, it loads a Shopify icon. Like if it didn't load one at all, who cares? But the fact that it loads your e-commerce platform, it's okay. But I always make sure you put your fave icon in there. And here they've done a good job writing their title tag. And wow, they've got a cool hero video. Forget about carousels. Forget about images. I want a hero video. And they do it exactly the way I love to do a hero video. Autoplay looped muted. So if it's not muted, clearly you are Satan himself. I don't know what your problem is. But also, there's a lot of mobile devices will ignore the autoplay flag if it doesn't also include muted. So, and it's an easy way to shrink down the size of the videos, strip out the audio channel. So I love this because this screams professionalism. It immediately makes the site more trustworthy. It's highly engaging. Yeah, it's great. Any site we've added video to, it almost universally improves conversions. And it streams, so it doesn't impact load time. That's just really great. The only disadvantage here is clicking it does nothing. And you could have like text or a CTA button on here, or like put one, just down here would be nice. And then I like that they've got they have their mission statement, and they've done a great job with typography. Like if you want to see what good typography looks like, just this pairing right here between these three, that's fine. So, all right. We believe in the power of perfectly fitted jeans to make you feel your most confident and empowered self. That's a mission statement. That is a positioning statement. That is brilliant. Now, I wish it were more concise, and I'm sure we could copy edit it down, but this is great. I wish everyone had as strong a positioning statement on their homepage as this one. It's really tremendously powerful in helping separate the wheat from the chaff. Someone's going to land on the site, and they're going to see that and go, yeah, that's me, or I'm out of here. And that's what you want. And then they jump into explaining like why you should buy from them. I think that's great. The only downside is I have yet to actually, there's no featured products on the homepage. There should be a featured product or featured collection. And then at the bottom, we finally get to one that, okay, shop women, shop men. And up here, I was going to say, I wish that the drop-down menu had like a little indicator to tell me it was a drop-down menu. But overall, this is pretty nice. Let's shop for some custom-made denim for myself.
By the way, Kurt, we are very low on time. It's my fault for not warning you ahead of time.
No.
Let's take a couple more. I want to just finish up this one, and then we'll be on our way.
This product page is lovely, and they're offering financing. I love these 4 interest-free installment payment financing options like Afterpay or Sezzle, because it doesn't hit your credit. It offers sane 0% financing for all of your customers, which is way better than credit card offers. And what we have seen in most stores that run, especially apparel stores that run financing, is generally it'll have a higher average order value. Like if they're going to go through the effort of the loan, they're not just going to buy one T-shirt; they'll buy a few items. So often, the average order value with the financing widget is significantly higher. I like these financing widgets a lot, and they're easy to install. I I need like a big, obvious, sane size guide. Oh, look at that. Oh, you send them your measurements. Okay. And when I had to cart, I got a drawer cart. And it offers me measuring tape. How smart. That was probably an objection that people had. Well, how am I going to measure myself? So very clever. And I love this drawer cart. All right. I'll stop it there.
On the note of buy now, pay later tools, I just did a podcast episode. I literally published it today on buy now, pay later tools in the future of that industry. And I linked it here in the chat in case anybody wants to know, I think, a lot about where it's come from and where it's heading. And yeah, highly recommend testing those out on your site as well.
Okay, but what's more important is, are you wearing a taco shirt?
It's all tacos today, baby.
That's beautiful.
All right. That's the yeah, and I got the little taco thing there, and Kurt knows this, but if you're ever in a Slack group or channel with me, I don't give thumbs up. I give tacos because tacos are delicious and everyone should have one.
You're the one doing the tacos in that Slack channel? I did not know that.
You got to hover over the taco. You'll see my little face there.
Yeah, I never did. I just always saw the tacos. I'm like,
who's giving out tacos? It all started because there's this tool called Hey Taco, which you can install in Slack. It's I would call it an overpriced HR tool that encourages team collaboration, giving tacos to people. And we were like, okay, we're not going to pay for this tool, but we're going to keep giving tacos. And that was how it began. And then one of my friends bought me a shirt that has tacos all over it.
That's very nice.
Yeah. All right. So thank you. I was wondering when somebody was going to get around to the taco shirt. I've been trying so hard. I'm like, but awesome, Kurt. That was amazing. We were able to look at those sites and get a really good understanding of what we might be doing wrong in our own sites, some optimizations on the product detail page, moving people through checkout. We caught a typo on the categories page, which I'm sure they're rushing to fix right now, and so many other great things. I did link in chat and in the show notes back to your previous session on the mobile optimization. And so you guys can all take a look at that.
And the next one we'll do, I'll figure out the name of the app that I have installed and paid for, and we'll do it on mobile.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do, and I think it's good to take a look. I think both are important, but yeah, mobile is more predominant, I'm sure, right now for most merchants than desktop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real quick, if people want to work with you for creating a new store, optimizing their store, switching themes, or even those or conversion rate optimization as well, where can they go?
Absolutely. Head to our agency site, ethercycle.com, apply to be a client, and I will happily review and go over it with you. And if it seems like we'd be a good fit, you get a 30-minute consultation. That I'm an extrovert trapped in a house, so actually they usually go 60 minutes because I'm so lonely.
Yeah.
And if you just have questions or just want to stay in touch, Google me, check out kurtelster.com, sign up for my newsletter, and that comes from my real email address. If you reply, I'll read it, and I'll probably reply. Maybe I might. I feel like it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kurt. And we're moving right into the next session. Let me find Greg.
See you, Derek.
Always a pleasure.